listening to the Creator Mindset Podcast, episode number 3.
Welcome to the Creator Mindset Podcast, where artists, performers, and entrepreneurs share knowledge that will kick off your career and take you to the next level. Turn your vision into reality with your host, Ariane Leanza Heinz.
In this episode, I give you my process on how I plan my year, have a vision, and turn it into reality. I specially created a freebie for this episode. I took all my knowledge on how to plan and put it into this freebie. So when you sit down for a few hours and plan your artistic year, you can take the freebie as a guideline. You'll find it at www.arianeleanzaheinz.com/3. Every year and twice a year, I make the plans for the next 6 months. And here is how I do it. I schedule it in my agenda, a free room, free time just for myself. I can tell you this is a rare exercise because I have 3 children, a dog, 2 cats, family life that's very busy, a teaching life that's busy, and a coaching life that's busy. So I have a very full life, but for this particular exercise, I want to have my peace and quiet. And why? Because I need to go inside. I need to see what I really want to create for the next 6 months. So I go into my office. I have a home office. I'm very, very lucky. It's a beautiful place. I go off Wi-Fi and I dig into what I really want to create for the next 6 months. And I advise you do the same. Please turn off your Wi-Fi. Please turn off your phones. Do take a break for yourself. If you have a team, you can invite them to join you a little later. If you have like a manager, a booker, or someone who's promoting your radio tunes or promoting your art, invite them to join you in after the few first steps. So you can share with them your vision and align with them and maybe divide the tasks of what needs to be done. So here is my process. So first, I am inside my office and I decide to make my vision. I know I talk a lot about having a vision, but without a vision, really we don't have something that pulls us up, that brings us to the next step. Project yourself in 6 months' time. What would you have liked to have achieved during that time? What would you like to have bought? What would you like to have made of money? What would you like to have accomplished? What kind of videos? What kind of piece of art? Where would you like to be? Where would you like to live? How do you want to look like? What kind of wardrobe? So you think about all those things and you feel them. You feel how it would feel like to have all this. And then you write it, you paint it. You can go on Pinterest. Well, I said to be off Wi-Fi, but just for that, you can go on Wi-Fi just for a minute. But don't turn on your email. Go on Pinterest, look at pictures, and feel. You can include everything. You include your home, your family, your friends, your traveling, and your business, and your art, and your music. Everything that has to do with what and who you are and what you want to do. But what you have to focus on is which emotions you want to have. Which songs do you want to have published by then? Put all of your dreams down. Then review the vision and see what in your honest integrity you will be able to achieve in the next 6 months. You have to keep your word to yourself, and you have to be able to achieve it. So maybe some of the goals you put down are maybe a year time goal, maybe a 2-year time goal. So those you put on another vision that I will talk about in another episode. But for now, just focus on the goals that you want to achieve in the next 6 months. Feel if the whole vision feels good to you. Look at it. And that will take you about an hour to do or more, especially if you're painting it or drawing it. Feel if the whole vision feels good to you. Feel if that's really what you want to achieve. That was the first step. Second step. Now you take a white sheet of paper and write down the 3 things that you absolutely don't want to compromise on in the next 6 months. What do you want to achieve that if you don't do it, you would feel really awful? So, those are the 3 goals you really, really will cherish. On that list, I would like for you to also include something like pampering yourself once a month or having your hair done, something that is related to you taking care of yourself. Or maybe you like to just listen to music for yourself and that's nourishing your soul. Whatever is nourishing your soul, put something like that down too. So 3 goals that are about something you don't want to compromise on. And then write down a few steps, a few goals that are also about pampering yourself, taking care of yourself, of your soul, of your body. We need that time. Because when we're artists, usually we don't see time pass and we work a little too hard. You need a little bit of time for yourself. That was number 2. Now, step number 3. Step number 3 is about money. How much would you like to make in the next 6 months? You need to make a budget for music, for activities, for the concerts. So decide how you will make the money in the next 6 months. How would you like to make that money? By selling tunes, making a crowdfunding campaign? How will you do it that it takes you out of your comfort zone and you go and do the things that you want to do in order to make money? In episode number 7, I will share how to be abundant and how to really live an abundant life. And the freebie of that episode is my budget sheet. So you want to go and check this one out and download the budget sheet because there I outlined everything that an artist needs. And you need to have a budget because as an artist, an independent artist, you are an entrepreneur, a musicpreneur maybe. So number 3 is how much you want to make in the next 6 months and how you want to make that money. Concerts, work, teaching, I don't know. How do you want it? There's many, many ways. Maybe you have a side job. Put that down. Step number 4. Have now a calendar for the next 6 months or write on a whiteboard and put down the name of the next 6 months. So if we are at the beginning of the year, put down January till June. Then you will do this process again in May for the months from July to December. On this whiteboard, you will take one goal at a time and divide it into steps toward the goal, into doable steps. So for example, you want to release a video. So what do you need to actually release a video? You need to find a video producer, the location, the outfits, the makeup. Maybe the song is already produced. You have already a vision. You have to put that vision into place in the calendar. And within 1 to 2 months, the video should be done. If you're very fast, maybe within a month. So you take whatever goal you put down on number 2 and you divide those goals into steps. Very important step. And there you might want to have your team come in. Step number 5. You will decide how you will show up, either on social media or online or offline. How do you want to show your art in the world? You can decide on one post a day. You can decide on a newsletter. You can decide on concerts at the local cafe. You can decide on many things, but you have to decide how you want to give to your public what they expect from you. And then, when you have decided how you want to do it, number 6 is to map it out. How will you create the content, the music, the art, and how and when will you promote it? You need to know how people will be in touch with you and how you want to connect with your public outside of concerts. It's the customer journey that you have to think about. There are many ways. You can do regular live on Facebook. You can go on Snapchat, on Twitter, do Instagram stories or one post a day, use hashtags. You can use newsletter. I like the old newsletter personally because each email that is on your list is a fan that you have a direct connection with. They can answer you. They feel part of your story. People love to be part of artist stories or entrepreneur stories because if you're a creative entrepreneur, that plan is also for you. And number 7 is to implement. So you take that calendar that you have on your whiteboard and you start planning each week with the activities. What will you do in each week, actually, to make that vision reality? You also have to keep some room for interviews or spontaneous opportunities that will come your way. So don't pack it too much. You also have to plan for launches. So there will be parts of your schedule that will be for content creation and part of your schedule that will be for launches and promotion. And all the time, you will keep in touch with your audience. Then go back to your vision a minute. That's step 8. At the end of those few hours of planning, you go back to your vision and start being excited. I believe surrounding ourselves with great minds and great mentors will bring us further. I have myself a mentor. She's just a few steps ahead of me, and I can identify myself with being there in a couple of years. If you're listening to this episode before December 9th, join me for a mastermind call on that day. To sign up, just go on to www.arianeleanzaheinz.com/3. There will be a link to join the mastermind there. And the freebie of this episode is also on that same website, www.arianeleanzaheinz.com/3. And it is my personal steps to plan your next 6 months. Did you like this episode? I sure hope so. Subscribe, share, and give us a review on iTunes. Thank you so much. Until next time.
Thank you for listening to the Creator Mindset podcast at www.arianeleanzaheinz.com.